One of the best ballparks in North America when you're talking minor leagues, and it's not even close. The Vancouver Canadians home, that is Nat Bailey Stadium on a beautiful Saturday night. Luis De Los Santos in the Canadians alternate red jerseys. That's a sharp uniform. You got that Mounties mark on the left sleeve, and of course the affiliate Toronto Blue Jay logo on the right. Grant Townsend getting ready for his second inning to work. And you know, I will say this, Ricky Romero, when you've got a good opponent who's throwing strikes as well, as a pitcher, there's no doubt that that brings out the best in you.
100%. It's your time to outduel a first rounder. And like I said, me being on that side, you feel like the offense is always trying to
absolutely
get you for 10 runs, you know? So it goes both ways. Yeah, you can feed off that energy, but at the same time, you have to remember that it's you against the hitters, not you against the pitcher that's on the opposing side.
I got you. Well, how about this? Let's get a little House Sound Brewing second inning brought to you by House Sound Brewing Company. House Sound Brewing Company in downtown Squamish, BC. Welcome to Sea to Sky Country. You've never been to Squamish yet, have you?
Have.
Because you've been busy. You've been doing these camps for the Blue Jays across Canada.
I have been, yeah. It's been awesome. I've got to go to Winnipeg, Regina, Edmonton, Calgary. By the way, Aquasox, they have a baseball facility there.
It's pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we had a camp there for a few days, so it was fun.
Well, Cade Marlowe, no relation to Cade Sauvignon Blanc. In the box is the 1-0 pitch on its way for the right-hander is fouled off out towards the fan. A little souvenir for a fan here at the ball, but the ushers get right into it too. You know, I don't mean to laugh, but the ushers are all, it's fair game when that ball comes into the in the stands, and every once in a while you see one of the Canadians ushers put their hands up. They want a souvenir as well. Marlowe's got a 273 batting average as he pitch misses low. Home run and 15 RBI.
I think the biggest thing I've realized traveling across Canada, though, you realize how popular that Blue Jay logo really is. You play in Toronto. When you play in Toronto, you know of Toronto, and that's it.
It's a ball that's hit into right. Ramos fields it cleanly, but it'll be a leadoff single here for Cade Marlowe that brings up Robert Perez. And Ricky, I guess you remember from your playing days when the Blue Jays come to Seattle.
Yeah,
it's essentially a home game for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and we used to hear a lot of Seattle guys used to hate it because they're like, they're supposed to be cheering for us. But it's understandable. I mean, people here in Vancouver don't get to see the Blue Jays very much, so anytime they can drive a couple hours, you go and check them out.
Oh, you'll even get people coming down from Alberta that make their way through.
Really?
Absolutely.
I used to love coming to Seattle.
Swinging a base on a fastball at 90, and the count goes to 0-1 to Robert Perez. It's the only 3 games this year on Sportsnet 650, which is the radio station here in Vancouver, where the Canadians games will get bumped in lieu of the Toronto Blue Jays at the Seattle Mariners. So instead of Rob Fai, you get Ben Wagner. Throw over to first base, which is fine. We'll still be broadcasting at CanadiansBaseball.com, but that is the magnitude out west of the draw of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a really cool atmosphere, and the fact that the fans show up and cheer for you, I mean, I'm sure it makes it worth it for them too.
Well, it's coming up. It's only a couple of weeks away. Blue Jays will make their way out west. And I'll tell you, considering the overhaul that the Blue Jays have had over the last couple of weeks, it's amazing to me that they still look like a young boy band that is wildly popular with, you know, Biggio and Bichette, Flatty. It's all working according to plan, according to some. As the 0-1 pitch misses high and the count balances at 1-1.
You got to love the energy they're bringing every game. And by no means are they throwing the towel in, you know, just like whatever the trades happen and all this and that. The guys are still playing with a lot of energy. I got a chance to catch the game earlier today, and you can just see the excitement. And it's going to continue to build from here, Rob.
2 balls and 1 strike to Robert Perez. The only thing I'll say to that is when you trade faces of franchises away, it does take a period for the fan base to adjust. But I can't imagine that by the time the 2020 season rolls around, that fans aren't ready to embrace the big 3, the new big 3. Pitch fouled off, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I say this all the time. I think the biggest thing for a fan to hear, the one word they don't want to hear is patience. Patience. It's going to be, there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs now that these young kids are up there. But in 2-3 years, watch out. I think they're going to be the team to look out for.
There's a weird connection between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Vancouver Canucks in that regard. But I'll wait until after this 2-2 pitch that's on its way. It is hit into left, and this is going to be trouble. It's working its way away from Abadessa. It's going to roll right to the fence, and it looks like it's going to be a stand-up double, and it is exactly that. You know, Grant Townsend had him at 2 strikes and just left a big old juicy pitch over the heart of the plate, and Robert Perez just too good a hitter. And now all of a sudden, with nobody out in the top of the second, the Aquasox, who have been doing this to the Canadians all season long, have runners at second and third and nobody out. And to steal a word that some people don't like, patience was key to that hit as Robert Perez waited for that one and then let the hands do the work and hits that one to the left field.
Yeah, it's just a fastball that stayed up in the zone. And like you said, 2-2, when you're ahead in the count, you got the guy with 2 strikes. That's not where you want to leave a pitch.
Wicked slider in for a strike. So nobody out. Canadians defensive configuration has the third baseman Trevor Schwecke off the bag, but even with it, everybody else in the infield on the right side is playing pretty much standard fare. Townsend winds and works. A pitch foul back, and the count goes to 0-2. And this is where, again, like we saw in the first inning from Townsend, every once in a while your pitcher's got to step up and do his job as well. Strikeout wouldn't hurt in this moment. 0-2. Gladfelter struggling as of late. Perfect opportunity.
What I like about Townsend is that he's still attacking the zone. He's still working at a good pace. Second and third, hey, get a chance to get out of this.
Fastball up and away at 91 miles an hour. We will get a look a little later tonight at Alex Nolan. He's a kid that played his baseball at Brock University. Yeah, he's a Brock Badger. And he'll be second out of the bullpen tonight for the Vancouver Canadians. So, actually, I should say first out of the bullpen on the heels of Grant Townsend tonight. 1-2. Got him. And that's what the doctor ordered. And Townsend's got some beautiful options, especially when he gets ahead of a hitter, and we saw a couple of them there.
Yeah, we did. He pitched him really well right there, and that was exactly the pitch. Slider down and in, back foot, perfect pitch, 2 strikes, you get 1 out. Like I said, the worst thing that can happen here for me as a starter is I let 1 run in, but that guy at second does not score. That's my mentality. Obviously, my mentality is not to give up the run, but worst comes to worst, we keep it at 1.
So the lesser of 2 evils.
Yep.
Carter Binns with 4 home runs and 12 RBI this season. The pitch on its way. And a pretty decent pitch right at the knees, not called for a strike, 1-0. Longtime Everett Aquasox broadcaster Pat Dillon, who's been doing it for more than 20 years, is about 15, 20 feet to our left. And he said everybody's talking about the first and the second rounder, but Carter Binns is a guy that projects as a potential major leaguer as well. Breaking pitch also looked pretty good, not called for a strike, and the count goes to 2-0. A couple of years ago, Everett Aquasox had a catcher by the name of Mike Zunino, and everybody was talking about Zunino as the next quote-unquote big thing. 2-0. He's up and in. Guess with the base open at first, it's not the worst case scenario, as it would essentially put a force out at any bag. Depends on which way you're thinking. Townsend, couple of adjustments to the mound in front of him. Now he's ready to go. Runner at second and third with 1 out. No score here in the top of the second. Fastball is up, so it's a 4-pitch walk to Carter Binns. And it all of a sudden loads the bases for Miguel Perez, the 9-hitter, a center fielder that, in my estimation, is a pretty tough guy to double up. And this is going to bring out the pitching coach, Dimitri Kokeres, to have a couple of words. If you're walking out right now, Ricky, to have this conversation, what are you saying to Grant?
I'm saying you're one pitch away. There's one out. Get a roll over here, a nice little 4.63. We're out of this inning, and no damage is done. That's what I'm telling him. And more than anything, take a little quick breather, gather yourself. Everything's good. There's still a 0-0 ball game, so he's good.
Early on, Dimitri usually picks his spots pretty well. And you've got the entire Canadians infield joining Grant Townsend, the umpire, and more. Every time I see that, I always think of the movie Bull Durham. And I'll probably always think of that when I see that situation on the mound. But right now, the stage is that man, Grant Townsend, out of Lake Tapps, Washington. Again, as mentioned on the outset of the broadcast, about 15 to 20 minutes outside of Everett. As a kid, he would go and watch the Aquasox down at Memorial Stadium. Now tonight in Vancouver, he's facing that team. And looking in, trying to find a way. Now, ground ball could solve everything here. But again, Perez has got some pretty good speed. Pitch misses a little bit up and in. 1 ball and no strikes.
Even if it's a one-out type thing where you get a slow grounder, they get an out at home plate, it's still no damage has been done. So I think he's in a good spot to get out of this situation.
As a pitch that swung on and missed, 91. Stubbornly went right back to the same place, but this time got a better result. Ball back towards us. Boy, should have brought my glove. Would have had a souvenir.
Our boy Jordy hasn't flinched yet, so.
Jordy used to be the master of flinching. Of course, you got to remember, if you're watching, there's a 3-person broadcast booth. It's myself and Ricky. And statistical assassin, and KPW's going to hate me for saying that, but Jordy Cunningham flinches better than anybody else on a foul ball in the history of baseball. He's busy looking up stats. 1-2. And it's low. The count goes to 2-2. We also have our boss behind the scenes, Sam. She's like the boss of everybody's boss. Making sure we get on, making sure it sounds good, making sure the colors all pop and balance.
There we go.
Everett, no runs on 3 hits. They do not want to come out of here empty-handed here in the top of the second. 2-2 from Townsend. He's well up and in. Buzz the light tower, like a young Maverick and Goose used to do.
He just seems to be rushing just a bit right now, and you can just tell that front shoulder is opening up. And when that happens, you tend to leave the ball up, and you tend to miss up. So I think he just has to kind of slow it down and not try to throw 100 miles per hour. It's just nice, easy, here we go, attacking pitch, well located. He'll be just fine.
3-2 got him, went to the breaking pitch, and that is a big strikeout. His 4th of the evening. And now all of a sudden, with the bases loaded, there are 2 outs, and it's an opportunity for the Canadians to somehow fandangle their way out of this second frame. But it's the formidable Utah Jones, 1 for 1 in this game, who's going to step into the box.
In talking to hitters, Rob, there's nothing more they hate than a 3-2 breaking ball. They just hate it. The whole thing is always like, well, throw me a fastball. Why would I throw you a fastball when you're sitting fastball? And obviously you got to have some confidence too to be able to bury that pitch. And he did right there. Unbelievable pitch, 3-2. You can tell the hitter was just completely beat because he was sitting fastball.
Up and away.
But I 3-2 changeups, 3-2 curveballs. I love being in those situations, especially when you're feeling it. Looks like he's feeling that slider.
Well, you said 2 things: confidence and feeling it. Those are 2 things that if you're going to have the guts to do that on 3-2, you better have.
With the bases loaded.
That's right. 1-0's on its way. And it's a ball that is hit into right. That's going to drop. And unfortunately, not 1, but 2 are going to score. Ramos is going to go to third. And the ball is going to get past Schwecke, but then go off of the coach. And luckily for his runner at third base, Carter Binns, who would have been dead man walking, Schwecke wasn't able to apply the tag in time. Have you ever seen that? A ball that gets away from the third baseman and then hits the coach in the box, which essentially saved the Canadians a run even though they scored 2.
That's pretty bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen that.
So the ball goes out to Ramos, and instead of going home, thought he had to play in third. Schwecke loses it, but look, it goes right off the shin and almost back into the glove of Schwecke, who was going to apply the tag on Binns. But now that the dust is settled, it is a 2-run double off the bat of Utah Jones, who's now 2 for 2 in this game. As Utah does it to the Canadians again. And it's a ball right up the middle that has eyes. One more run's going to score. And here comes the throw from Eden in center. It's going to be off the mark, and it is now 4-0. As coming into count is Utah Jones, just fresh off, picking up 2 RBIs on his own. It's a 2-run single from Cesar Astores that has given the Everett Aquasox a 4-0 lead. And he almost got himself out of this situation. Townsend was able to get strikeouts of both Gladfelter and Perez. And then just when you thought they were going to be able to weave their way out of trouble, Utah with the double, Cesar with a single, and it's 4-0 Everett.
You could almost see those fastballs that they've hit have just been up in the zone. He's worked up in the zone a lot tonight, and that hurts.
Pitching for strike to Patrick Frick. Frick got caught looking back in the first inning. 1 of 2 strikeouts that Townsend got in the first frame. You can't say that the Everett Aquasox didn't earn those runs for the 5 base runners. Base hits. And now a pitch that is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. So the Everett Aquasox, let's not forget, Ricky, they put the ball in play last night. 8-2 victory over the Canadians, and now they're up 4-0 here at the top of the second.
Yeah, they're definitely swinging those hot sticks right now. Don't seem to be missing very many pitches either.
0-2. There goes the runner. Throw down to seconds on the mark. Will it be in time? You bet it is. You very rarely successfully run on Philip Clark, and that will help Grant Townsend finally put the curtains together on this top of the second inning, but not before. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 runs score at the top of the second for the Everett Aquasox. Now, we won't take a break here. We're going to go down to Caroline Frolic, who's been waiting patiently to tell us about one of the cool new promotions here at the ballpark. Caroline.
Yeah, Seas fans not at the ball game but still want to take part in all the fun? Oh, you can. Just grab your smartphone. Who am I kidding? It's already in your hand. Log on to Facebook. Again, who am I kidding? You're already on there. Like the Vancouver Canadians page. If you don't already like them, what are you doing? Send them a message, any message, just keep it kind. And then you can win tickets to an upcoming homestand and a whole ton of Seas cash. Follow, play, win. It's that easy.